Hello, GMan 5B, and welcome to your Week 3 recap. I'm hoping this comes out okay. I've had an update with Windows, and typically, as with updates with Windows 10, what I decided to do is go, hey, you like your sound settings? You know the sound settings that have been the same for 3 months? We're just going to change them all. We're going to mess around with your microphone so it's not your default input. We're going to adjust the volume output of everything, and we're just generally going to be a pain in the butt. A lot like dwarves at this point. Windows 10 updates are the dwarves of the PC world, and that's where we're putting it. Now, speaking of dwarves, there's a dwarf team in this division, and how did they do? They did a thing. They did a thing, I'm afraid. They 2-0'd a Gravitas-free team, did the Mean Mountain Manglers. And amongst other highlights, there is a Longbeard in that game who got an MVP. The reason he got the MVP was because everyone was clearly astounded about his interception into touchdown against Force Gavin. It was a rough game for Gravitas free team. I've spoke to both coaches, and one is a lot happier than the other one right now, but he's also a dwarf, so he probably doesn't count. We've got 3-1 by the Big Dippers versus Chaos goes 4th. They are, with a loss like that, they're probably heading towards 4th, actually. Werewolf proved me entirely wrong by taking a big old win against Planet Fried Ocean Sentry, which is, again, one of the coaches was very happy about, and I'll give you literally 0 guesses which one. So that's a big result for Ezekiel, to be honest. And then Last Kiss White Leapers and Black Creek Buccaneers came out with a particularly boring, in such an exciting week, we wrap it up with a 1-1, which is not the most interesting thing in the universe, gentlemen, I'm afraid. Now, how does that leave the leaderboard? Well, Chaos goes 4th, are actually 7th. But they're joint 6th, so it's okay. It's okay. There's still plenty of time, guys. There's plenty of time. You know, you got to play 7 games. So, at the 3-game mark, you're coming up to that halfway point. Then, obviously, we go into the split. We're going to talk about that in detail next week, because I've already had far too much time complaining about my microphone to fill up more time in the show. Now, it doesn't make sense to do it just yet. All I'm going to say is, I think everyone is still in with a chance. It's going to be harder if you're below Last Kiss of White Leapers, maybe, because they're already on 4 points. But then again, these guys are on 3, so it's not a world of hurt. Werewolf, holding up the middle of the field, joint with Maiden Maniacs, Black Creek Buccaneers. The standout so far is Rennis and these dwarves. He's having a whale of a time here at 2-1-0, and he's got TV to boot as well. 1400, 1580 for Maiden Maniac. However, wow, that's some development in the early season. It's looking good, right? So that's what the table looks like. Let's see what the teams look like. Werewolf first, as is tradition, and he's got block on his werewolf, which is a good thing. It's a very good thing, to be honest. He's got a dodge flesh golem, block flesh golem, so 1 level on both is really nice as well. That dirty player, I do like that. He's picked up a ghoul, which is about the time that you start seeing that for Necro coming through. Where are we? He's got guard on a white. He's got tackle on a white. It's, you know what? It's developing, and it's going in the right direction. Skills on all the players. Still very jealous of the Mighty Blow Werewolf, but this actually is a really good thing for him, because now this basically does all of the blitzing, and that can allow John Candy to do 2 touchdowns to get a level up, and then see where he ends up. Now, Big Dippers, Sticky B, they're a lizard team with a couple of block. I mean, lizards are like this. Like, he's got 15 out of 16. Barbecue is getting there. Real close. 4 out of 6 on Salsa. He could do with a random Kaz or a touchdown, and that would be nice. Try, wherever you can, Sticky B, to put the ball on the Saurus. It is like a 5+, which is very scary. But if it's like turn 6 and you're fairly secure and you think you're going to score and you've got a couple of rerolls, it's really, really worth it, because otherwise they're so slow. But I can't say more about it because it's just lizards, right? It's just lizards. Is what they do. Now, this Gavin team, not looking as good as it used to, because lasting damage has, you've guessed it, taken some lasting damage. He's minus AV. Now, the good news is he is at 2 SPP. So he's not being invested in. We can get rid of him, get a new one, but we can't, because we're missing a gut runner here. So we've got to get that guy back. And also Nerve's energy is niggled. So that's not long for the light. Oh, it's at that horrible point where you've got a couple of perms and you've got to, like, which ones do I keep? Which ones do I get rid of? Which ones, what do I do here? Now, first step, I would say, replace the Gutter Runner. That's completely dead, because a niggled Gutter Runner is better than no Gutter Runners, but try not to score on the niggled one. Then replace the Storm Vermin, and then replace the Gutter Runner, would be my path to recovery with this team, personally. Because first up, getting a fourth Gutter Runner, massively important. Second up, yes, you've still got the injured Gutter Runner, but lasting damage's job is to punch things, and he develops much slower, so replacing him as soon as possible is better for the long-term health of the team. Because he really relies on that AV8 to kind of keep him alive in the fights that he'll get into, and because he's so slow to develop, you want to get him off the field before you worry about replacing a Gutter Runner, which are dead easy to replace. Dead easy, because they just level themselves up. They just ball SPP magnets, they are. Look at this. This Chaos team's coming along. It's now got 2 Mighty Blow, 2 block, strength. I love that strength 5 block warrior. It's so nice. Like, I really want it to get, like, guard, stand firm, and tentacles in any of that order. Probably guard, tentacles, and then stand firm. And it'll be beautiful. Don't worry about Mighty Blow. Guard, tents, stand firm. Make yourself a smart beast of Nurgle, and everybody will love you, apart from everybody. They'll all hate you. But that's just how it goes. You're playing Chaos. You're not playing Chaos to be popular, are you? Let's be honest. You'd be playing the Elves if you want to be popular, like Lozra. And he's got a strength 4, because of course he has. Because it's just the way Rebel works, is they just hand out strength like it's candy. I have learned, as I've gotten no strength ups. No, actually I say that, but I did roll strength up on a zombie last game, and ignored it for guard, because it's a zombie. But, so technically Rebel really does hand out strength ups like candy. This thrower should really be chucking a ball at someone. He's 5 out of 6. Probably the Proxima Centauri to get a touchdown. Touchdown, yes. Nice. Blitz is looking good. We really need some doubles somewhere. So, keep leveling them, and that's how bored I am of High Elves already. I'm yawning. No, I'm not bored of High Elves. I'm just tired. Right. Maiden Maniac has committed a grave sin and has left Mate Tabion unleveled. Now, I don't like talking about unleveled teams. I've made this clear on previous seasons recaps. I'm going to give you one chance. If you want me to talk about your team, I'm going to do it this week because it's your first warning. If you want me to talk about your team, you make sure you take your levels so I can talk about your team. Because I can't, this is just an arrow. It's not a skill. I can't talk about that skill. I can talk about the fact that now literally there are 10 players on this team with dodge. This is a stupidly good team. This is an upsetting team. I could show this to many, many people, and they'd all go, that's a lot of dodge. And, I mean, I'm not going to show it to them because I don't want to upset them. But I could. Let that be a warning to you. Azenth, the last Kislevites Leapers. Where are we? He's got Mighty Blow on Blitzer. I think that's bold. He's got block on his bear. Now, that's beautiful. We do like a good blocky bear. 3 wrestles on the lineman now. Oh, he's getting there. It's Kislev are weird. They either are really, really slow or really, really fast, but they're never in between. And this one is kind of the exception that proves a rule, because it's somewhat in between. It's a little bit faster than slow, but it's a little bit slower than fast. Did that make sense to anyone? I'm used to having a co-host on these to bounce off of, and now I'm just talking nonsense into a microphone for 12 minutes and hoping you go, yeah, thanks, Mel. So, yeah. Right, where are we? Look, it's the dwarf team again. They're gross. He's got guard. Yeah, this was the good one. This was the one that did all of the stuff last game. I just like guard on dwarves. Guard, I've talked to Rennis about this as well. Guard is so good on dwarves. Just get more guard. Get all... If you have every player on the team with guard, you probably still only just have enough guard. Because you're dwarves. And we hate you. But you're doing well. You win in the division. Keep it up, Rennis. You know we love you, really. He's a good guy, Rennis. I've enjoyed chatting to Rennis, actually. Now, 5B. Well, we've got the dwarves versus the lizards. Now, this, typically, quite a good game for the lizards, because they're just there's not much guard, and they just get to smash stuff. But the dwarves do have a death roller, so the lizards might want to consider a fast score and a skink to get the death roll off the pitch, and then, you know, even it up a bit. I don't know, it's a weird one. The dwarves are okay with it because they've got tons of block, and the lizards don't at the moment. The way he's been playing, I'm afraid I'm probably going to have to give that one to Rennis and the Moon Mountain Manglers, I'm afraid. Sorry, Sticky B, it's nothing personal, it's just... He's just been ripping it up right now. Right, a Gravitas free team versus Werewolf Werewolf. This is probably the best time of the season for anyone to play a Gravitas free team, because they just took a kicking at the hands of the dwarves. That being said, that does also mean they're rather cheap. And cheap Skaven get wizards. And Skaven with wizards get touchdowns. And touchdowns win you the game. 1 + 1 + 1 = 3. 0. In favour of Gravitas free team versus Werewolf. Nah, I'm only kidding. I don't know what the result's going to be. But I wouldn't count out Gravitas free team, because I know what it really was. All the injuries are just like the hyperbolic time chamber. He's training under high pressure, and now he's going to be like, yeah, as soon as I replace those players, I'm just going to be like, boom, he's going to be the new Goku. I'm telling you. And Ezekiel, never count out Ezekiel. He's actually much better than Ezekiel thinks he is. So all he needs to do is forget that he thinks he's bad, and he'll be fine. So, we'll see. Chaos goes forth versus Last Kislev Leapers. Interesting game for Kislev. They typically like early Chaos, because early Chaos don't have a lot of removal power, which, you know, allows Kislev to do Kislev things. So that one will be an interesting game, and probably quite tough for Stryarka. And finally, we've got Planet Fried Ocean Sentry versus the Black Creek Buccaneers, and Planet Fried Ocean Sentry have 0 tackle, so they're probably going to get shreked. They might not, though. But, I mean, they might. Because there's so much dodge on that team. It's just gross. It's just so gross. Lozra has a lot to do in that game. And I don't envy him in the slightest. Well, that's the matchups so far. I am interested to know, like, do you guys want to give me your opinions on how you think the week will go? I used to do tipping competitions, and it was a ton more trouble than it was worth. But, like, we could set up, like, something where you just drop me messages and we can all see who thinks who's going to win. I don't know. If you just want to... Do you want me to get in a guest every now and again to talk to? Or are you quite happy with me rambling on nonsensically for 12 to 13 minutes? Just let me know what you want, guys. As long as it doesn't take more than 15 minutes total, that's my hard... No, I'm only kidding. We can go up to 20. I'm sure we can manage 20 if you really needed it. Otherwise, I like keeping it punchy, and I'm just talking nonsense right now, so I'm going to go. Have a great week. It's been interesting watching how the teams have gone so far. I'm looking forward to this week because there's another couple of great games in there. And you all stay classy now, folks. We'll speak to you next week.